Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here once again. Another great virtual unveil. We're going to keep bringing it to you, and the reason why we're here is Kia is ready to knock it out of the park for another turnaround with the 2021 Kia Sorento. Lots of updates, lots of changes, lots of excitement. Let's go ahead, dive in, and check it out together. Guys, here we go. There it is. There is the all-new 2021, totally redesigned from top to bottom Kia Sorento. Now, this is the fourth generation of this compact SUV from Kia. So that means it's going up against some big players, the Toyota RAV4, the Honda CR-V, the Mazda CX-5, just to name a few. Now, the Sorento has been around since 2002. They have sold over 1.5 million of them since that time. It is sitting on a new platform. So this is the N3 platform. It's lighter, it's stronger, and the Sorento has a longer wheelbase, 1.4 inches longer, which means you're gonna get extra interior space. Now, with the Sorento, you're gonna have quite a few trims to choose from. And as we're looking at this particular one, this is an SX trim. They restyled the whole thing. I love the work that they've done with the Tiger Nose grille. Really brought that nicely over to this new generation of Sorento. Those signature daytime running lamps. And obviously, they want to keep riding that wave of success from the Telluride. And from the back, I could see design elements from the Telluride. Now, if you're wondering about trims, you're going to have a Sorento literally for everybody. You have LX, you have S, EX, SX, SX Prestige, and guess what? An all-new hero trim that is called the X Line. It's the X Line SX Prestige, which I'm going to get to that in a second. But seeing this particular Sorento SX rolling down the road, you're going to have, speaking of rolling, you're going to have a ton of different wheels and tire options. So you're actually going to have 6 different wheels to choose from, ranging from 17-inch all the way up to what you see, which are 20-inch wheels, which is a first on the Kia Sorento. Now, when we're talking about what are some of the other things that we're going to get, you're going to get standard LED lighting headlights across all the trims. So no matter if you're going LX or you're going SX Prestige or that new X Line, which is an off-road style version of the Sorento, you're going to be getting LED headlights. There's optional LED signature lights, but looking at the back, the badging, clean. The Sorento name, I like the way where they put it. Underneath the hood, you are going to have 4 different engine options, which if you're wondering, well, what are those engine options include? You're basically looking at a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, 191 horsepower, 182 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be mated to an 8-speed automatic, no CVT, either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Now, if that's not enough power, you could go 2.5 liter turbo. That's going to give you 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, and that could also be front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and you could tow up to 3,500 pounds, and it's mated to an 8-speed DCT transmission. Next, you're going to have a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged hybrid, 6-speed automatic, 227 horsepower, front wheel drive only, MPGs 39 in the city, 35 on the highway, and an all new plug-in hybrid. So that's that 1.6 liter turbo, inline 4, plug-in hybrid with the 6-speed automatic, 261 horsepower, 30-mile electric range, and you get all-wheel drive. Now, looking at the styling, super, super clean. The wheel choices, I think, are going to be spot on the money, especially if you're going SX. I like the way they put a nice body line there on the passenger and the front passenger and rear passenger doors there. The rear quarter window blends in seamless with the rest of the glass. You have very, very low roof rails, which is going to cut down on wind noise, but also give you that versatility to get your crossbars so that you could get your kayak up there or your your canoe or mountain bikes. On the interior, we're going to see a new elevation in design and style, and also in the different types of technology. So for the first time, you will be able to get a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. That's the first on any Kia SUV. Looking at the SX Prestige trim here, the seats, the stitching, the quality, you got to get behind a new Kia, the wheel of a new Kia, because I'm telling you, they are blowing things out of the water. Infotainment system, 10.25 inch or 8 inch. So 8 inches standard, obviously, 10.25 inch screen. You have 8 USBs on all the trims except for the base. Base LX, you have 6. The rest of the trims, you have 8 USBs. The availability of a 360-degree camera. I'm really digging what they've done with the infotainment system. Really falls in line perfectly with like the Kia Seltos and the new Kia K5, that mid-size sedan that recently came out. But the graphics are clear, easy to get to, and I'm glad that they kind of take that whole screen and instead of just sticking it up there like an iPad, it kind of blends in nicely into the gauge cluster. And there's that beautiful 12.3 inches. So now you can get over 12.3 inches of visual pleasure every single day in your Sorento. I'm liking the vertical style vents, the AC vents, the dual climate control. Look at where they're smart. They put the USBs in the backs of the seats. I'm zonking the cargo nets. Well, somebody stop putting cargo nets on the backs of seats, but those AC vents look really, really good. Of course, you have the availability of a nice full-size panoramic sunroof, and you're also going to have the availability of a Bose premium sound system with 12 speakers. And then the bottom line, keeping you and your family safe, you're going to have 16 Kia DriveWise systems in this new 2021 Sorento. But I'm definitely digging the rear seat capability here, the materials. I like how easy it is to slide that seat forward. And then of course you're gonna have the flexibility of a smaller third row. Now, this is a compact SUV, so don't think that the third row is gonna be something where, you know, the Jolly Green Giant or Shaquille O'Neal can sit in the back. It's gonna be tight, but at least it gives you that flexibility in case one of your kids is like, hey, can Jimmy come with us to the store? You got room for Jimmy, just throw him in the back. Now, what you're looking at is the Sorento that I would be buying. This is the all-new X-Line trim. So this is a off-road example of the Sorento, first time. So it's gonna be basically an SX Prestige all-wheel drive, but when you go X-Line, you're getting standard torque on demand all-wheel drive with a center locking differential. You're also getting downhill descent control. And if you don't know what that is, because you're not an avid off-roader, that's basically cruise control for off-roading. Special colors. If you're wondering, well, Joe, it looks like it's sitting up higher. Yes, it is. It actually sits 8.3 inches. You get 8.3 inches of ground clearance. That's an inch more than your standard Sorento. You're gonna get a totally different, unique front fascia. That whole bumper area there, totally unique to the X-Line. And this is meant to, like I say, be that hero style trim for the whole lineup. Specific 20-inch wheels, and you're getting a bridge type roof rack. Love the style of the hood. I also like the way the hood meets the front grille area. And I'm thinking, if you notice on the side, that trim that they put looks very, very tasteful and breaks up that whole fender area. You could clearly see going off-road. Like I said, this is gonna be that example for somebody who wants to go a little bit further off pavement than maybe your standard Sorento owner. But I'm digging just the style of it, let alone that's something that really opened up my eyes when I saw it. You can see the simple all-wheel drive badge. I'm really digging the taillights. It's got a nice connection with the Telluride, but they look different. And I'm glad that they're not just bringing the same style no matter what the vehicle is. Now down below, that silver along the rear fascia there really gives it that nice rugged off-road look. Even the way they just dropped in those fog lamps, really, really clean. The tiger nose grille, the design elements. Kia's just doing some very, very special things. Those signature daytime running lamps. It makes people like myself that maybe don't want an SUV want to go out and buy an SUV. That's how I felt about the Telluride. That's how I felt about the Seltos, and I'm definitely feeling it with the Sorento. Now, of course, we need to see it in person. But based off this B-roll footage that Kia provided us here at Rady's Rides to show you, it really looks like they just knocked this one right out of the park, and I could see this being a success like the almighty Telluride. But all of the different design elements, really, really slick, nice angles. Nothing is just flat-sided. really shows, there's that, see that side trim there? I love it. It's not trying to look like a vent. I like the X that they put there since this is the X line. The rear glass, look at that. The windshield wiper, the rear glass wiper just drops down. Super, super clean. I'm even digging the higher style roof rails. It makes life a lot easier when you are going, camping or whatnot, and you're trying to get those straps tied down and everything. It makes life a lot easier. But the signature daytime running lamps, LED across the whole trim line is fantastic to hear. And getting more ground clearance, that's also another nice choice. Very aggressive on the front of that front fascia. Steering wheel, liking the design. You have some brushed aluminum, a little bit of droplets of gloss black, but I think we would all agree that 12.3-inch screen, I'm telling you, size matters, and that screen really matters. There we have our drive terrain control knob. I could see the stitching on the shift boot there. Why, oh why they didn't put this on the K5 is blowing my mind, but I'm digging deep here trying to find zonks. I guess the biggest zonk, like I said, backs of the seats, the cargo nets. I'm not really a big fan of those, especially if you're trying to put certain items in there. It's not going to work very well, but I am liking all the storage compartments. I don't think there's a lid right there, so that is going to be a zonk. It would be nice if there was a lid where those USB ports are, but the center console armrest, the stitch work looks really clean. I'm even becoming more and more a fan of the tan interior. That breakup of just black material everywhere really kind of brings a nice flavor. The wood trim that's going on there, the different elements in the dash. That's another thing that Kia does super, super well. And with that infotainment system, that's another area. 10.25-inch screen. Looks beautiful. You're going to get all that great technology. Obviously, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, those things are going to obviously automatically be there. I like on the door panels how they brought the two-tone motif. Very nice with the tan and the black leather material. That wood grain is looking good. Even the way they shape, they put thought into the shape of the handle to open up the door. There's your available Bose sound system. Nice clarity from the speakers set up in there. And there's all our connectivity. Of course, wireless charging, you just drop it in there. Would be nice if there was a lid. My question is, how are we looking on the Twinkie storage compartments? That's going to be a big factor. But AC vents, I'm telling you, they're looking sexy. And I usually don't use that adjective when talking about AC vents, but they're looking really, really slick. You have the seats, the stitch work. I'm really, really liking the diamond pleating design on the sides. Really, really great. And like I said, if this one isn't for you, you have a plethora of different trims to choose from. And the wonderful news is also engine options. It's nice to see a manufacturer giving just more than one or more than two engine options and being able to connect it to an actual real automatic transmission with gears rather than a CVT. You can see in the back, in the cargo area, the ability to fold down the seats. Stow and go very easily. Look at that nice flat floor. That back seat row goes down. Now this final one that you're looking at, this is what we're talking about when we're going with the whole plug-in hybrid or hybrid setup. So let me recap the engine choices. I gotta get a little situated here. But like I said, 4 engines. What we're looking at now is either going to be the 1.6-liter inline 4 turbocharged engine. That's a hybrid setup, 227 horsepower. And we're looking at a 6-speed automatic transmission. And the big news is 39 mpgs in the city or the plug-in hybrid. So a first for the Sorento plug-in hybrid, also with a 6-speed automatic, also with that 1.6-liter turbocharged engine, but now putting out 261 horsepower. Looking at this particular one, the way that it's trimmed out, you could clearly see that connection with the grille compared to the X line that we were looking at. But I'm really, really liking the overall Tiger nose design. Really fits their vehicles super, super well. I'm not noticing, at least from right now, a ton of gloss black, and that is good news. The roof rails, nice and tidy, close. Out back, you could see the silver. Now, One zonk that I'm seeing that I'm not 100% sure, because obviously we need to see these vehicles in person. Does the design in the back look like fake exhaust to you? Chime in, because if it does, I'm zonking it. I like the silver trim on this particular one, the red with the silver. Even the wheel design, you could clearly see this is a different style wheel. There is some gloss black on that lower bumper area, but it's very, very slim. What's coming off the side of the front fascia going into the grille, very, very slim. I think that that's not going to be a huge concern. The rest of the grille, like the top portion, the Tiger Nose grille, I like the way it's nice. It looks like a flat black, very wide open design. And then coming out to the rear, the tail lights, the way that the rear tailgate fits flush, super clean. I'm just very curious. I wish the camera would drop a little bit lower to see, are we going to have fake exhaust vents? Because I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather just leave them off. But I think a little bit from what we're seeing, they do look like they're trying to be fake exhaust vents. And I'm going to zonk that. But here we are underneath the hood, the whole hybrid setup, getting that maximum MPG. I think it's nice that, hey, if you want to go regular hybrid, you could do that. You could get your 39 miles to the gallon in the city. If you want to go plug-in, which the plug-in is going to be available into 2021. These should be coming obviously before the end of the year. Now there is gloss black in that center section of the grille, but the way it's designed and the way everything's separated far apart, it looks really, really clean, and I think it's going to actually age well. The LED headlights, I think, is awesome to hear that they're going to give us LED headlights across the board. And then going back to the interior. Now, you'll notice on the hybrid one that we're looking at here, very, very unique dash setup compared to the X-Line. Because obviously, when you're driving a hybrid, there's some other information that you need to be receiving. But the way they integrated the AC controls and everything, fantabulous. There we are with our information on the dash. Super, super clean. Obviously, not full 12.3-inch digital, but you are getting that large 7-inch digital section in the center there. And I think that's another nice thing, is having the flexibility of many different trims depending on how you want to option it out. But boy, oh boy, the competition definitely has plenty to be concerned about. Transmission, rotary style. I know a lot of you were wanting that on the K5. So you can see on the Sorento here, they did bring that into this new compact SUV. And really, to be honest with you, without an actual shifter, it does clean up all that information. Here we have the 8-inch infotainment. So it's nice that we're looking at this one because we can see what the 8-inch looks like compared to the 10.25-inch. And you're going to get tons of information on that screen. The graphics are super clear, which is wonderful. And you can see that every time that person hit the touchscreen, it reacted very quickly. So that's another fine touch. Of course, the panoramic sunroof, I think, is something that on a lot of SUVs, it's nice to have that as an option because it really opens up that whole inside experience for your passengers, especially on the longer drives, and especially if somebody maybe in your family or in your in your group that you're driving, maybe they get a little car sick on farther rides, you can actually open that up, and that tends to help most of the time. But the door panel design, super, super clean. I'm just very excited about this Sorento because it really shows, like I said, started with the Stinger, the Telluride knocked everybody right off their feet. You got the new Seltos, which really, for a subcompact crossover SUV, brings so much flexibility. And then you have the new K5, which I can't wait for that K5 GT. But going back to this particular Sorento, the clean design on the seats, everything well laid out on the interior. And I think that is where Kia does a great job with not only the outside, but the inside. And then we're going to finish off in the X-Line because, like I said, if I'm going to buy a Sorento, that's the one, that color, exactly that way. But hopefully this has been very helpful to do these virtual unveils. Bring it to you first, bring it to you fast. This is the new 2021 Sorento. If you want to keep seeing stuff like this where we're doing these virtual unveils, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Got to give it up to my wonderful wife, Lori, being the production manager that she is. She does such an awesome job. Please show her some love in that comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.